Hello YouTube, Red Suit Studs here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Star Wars Dagobah Jedi training set as a part of the LEGO Star Wars Diorama collection. We're going to be unboxing it, building it, and reviewing it today. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we have the box for our Dagobah Jedi training set, coming in at 1,000 pieces. It retails for $79.99, which is a pretty good price for how many pieces you actually get in this set. And on the side here, you can see it's a part of the Diorama collection. And we have our measurements on the back of the box, as well as a picture from the scene it's depicting. And then we have Yoda in his hut here. That'll be a nice interior to build. So let's open it up and check out the instruction manual. So here with our instruction booklet, we get the QR code on the front for the digital instructions, which is a great feature they've been implementing. And then you get an interview with the designer of the set, as well as some images from the scene, and then some other ones from the rest of Empire Strikes Back there. And then you also just get a little display of the fully built set. So with that being said, let's get building. One more thing before I continue with the video. I know you all know what this is. I've hidden a LEGO Minikit somewhere in the background of this video. Let me know in the comments where you were able to find it. So before we go over the rest of the build, I just want to go over the 3 minifigures that come with this set. So the first one we have is Yoda. Of course, it is Yoda's hut after all. And I believe this is the same minifigure from the 2018 redesign, so there's nothing really new here. He has his little cane, and then he has front and back printing. And it's not like some of the older Yoda heads where it's rubbery, it's pretty solid plastic. You can kind of see here, compared with the Clone Wars variant, it's a lot more of a rubbery headpiece for the older version. And I know that the older Clone Wars variant of his figure was supposed to be accurate to the animation style, but yeah, he's kind of ugly. So the newer one is definitely an improvement. Next up, we have our R2-D2 minifigure, and this is also similar to the 2018 version, just like Yoda. However, you see here, he has some mud printing on his torso, or the front, as well as on the dome. But this version also has some on the back, so I believe the 2018 version didn't have any of that mud printing on the back, just the front. So technically this one is exclusive to this set because of that, but yeah, not too much different other than that back. And I said in a previous video that the only thing that I feel like they could really improve on with R2-D2 minifigures is maybe some printing on the legs, because this is kind of the same mold that we've had since 1999, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, I feel like the only thing stopping this minifigure from kind of being its best version that it could be is some leg printing, because then I feel like it would really tie everything together and have printing on everything that needs to have printing. And lastly, it wouldn't be a Jedi training set on Dagobah if we didn't have our Jedi to train. And so here we have our Luke Skywalker minifigure. And this is also similar to the 2018 version. However, there is some more wrinkles on the shirt, as well as no backpack on this version, I believe. So that's kind of missing from this one. We still have the dual printed face as well. It's the same face. So really the only difference here from the old version is kind of the extra wrinkles on the torso and then the backpack that's missing. And that would have been nice to have, but I don't think it's really crucial or takes anything away from this figure. Alright, so here is our final build for the Dagobah Jedi training set. And I gotta say, I'm actually very surprised at just how big this set is. Coming in at 1,000 pieces, I knew it would be a pretty hefty build, but the size of the base definitely surprised me because I had just built the Death Star trash compactor, and I thought that it would be somewhat similar to that in size. However, the base is much longer. I think it used a whole extra big plate more than the Death Star trash compactor. And here you can kind of see with a size comparison between the Death Star trash compactor and the Dagobah training set, and it's not too much bigger, but it's just big enough that I feel like it gives them a lot of room to do more detail, especially with this swamp area here. And I think that size definitely yields great results for this set here. I think if they were to make it the same size as the Death Star trash compactor set, it would be possible. However, I feel like if they wanted to include this X-Wing coming out here, I feel like they'd have to push that a lot closer to the hut, and you'd lose a lot of the kind of swampy area. So I'm glad that they elongated it a little bit more than the other diorama set, because I think you get a lot more detail that way. And you can even see up close here all the different bubbles coming out from the swamp, and they use that with 1x1 studs and some 1x1 circular tiles as well. So it's definitely really detailed in that swamp area. Also, I'm not sure if you were able to tell in the time-lapse build, but this swamp area definitely takes up a lot of the time for this build, because you can see it's all 1x1 tiles or 1x1 studs, and so you're just laying down tile after tile after tile. And I believe one of the pages, it said there were 177 of just these green pieces on the bottom. So that definitely took me a good amount of time just to do that part there. But it was still fun because I really enjoy kind of the tiling pieces. It's really satisfying to kind of have that whole grid kind of set up. And it was similar to the Death Star trash compactor set in that way, because on the Death Star it kind of has the tiling on the walls as well. So let's get in a little bit closer here to kind of get a better look at some of those details. So I've displayed the figures here. We have Luke kind of levitating on this kind of invisible plastic handle piece, and then we have R2-D2 and Yoda overseeing the training. And just like all the other diorama sets, we have the quote at the front here from Yoda: "Do or do not, there is no try." Wise guy, that Yoda. And then if we go to the right here, you can kind of see where we have the X-Wing kind of sticking out from the swamp there, and you can see kind of the bubbles here. And then on the back, you can kind of look inside Yoda's hut there, and you can see he kind of has his lightsaber hanging there. Since, you know, he's kind of retired now, he's hanging up the lightsaber. And then you can also kind of see there's a little kettle there with some soup that he's boiling. And just to take a closer look here at the interior of Yoda's hut, you can see that soup pot I was talking about, as well as the lightsaber hung up there. And then you can kind of see his bed here, as well as a Jedi holocron, which they used a really cool piece for it. And I don't really think we saw that in the movie, but it's a nice little detail they added. And off on the side here, you can kind of see some smoke billowing out from the fire inside his hut. And then there's also plenty of vegetation growing around with kind of these weeds and sticks everywhere, as well as in the swamp and on the side over here by the trees. I also want to make note of the vegetation pieces here with the tree line, with the vine pieces and the leaf pieces. It really gives a good look for the swamp and really makes it feel lively with all the roots and kind of vines coming out of the ground, and it leads up into the tree trunks and then all the pieces in the trees here. It looks really nice. So with all that being said, as much as I love the Death Star trash compactor set, I think I like this one even more. Between all the detail in the swamp area and the X-Wing and all the vegetation in the tree line and Yoda's hut, of course, I think this one dethrones the Death Star trash compactor as my favorite of the diorama sets so far. However, I can only hope that Yoda here can get along with the local wildlife. If you enjoyed this build, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for next time, where I'm going to be taking a break from LEGO Star Wars, and I'm going to build the orchid from the LEGO Botanical Collection. Thanks for watching.